Ed and Lorraine Warren, the famous paranormal investigators, became known worldwide after being the first to gain access to the Amityville case files and house in the 1970s. From then on, many of their investigations were adapted for the big screen. One of the most recent was the Perron family's haunting, which inspired The Conjuring by director James Wan. That film opened with a sequence about the Annabelle doll, a story so chilling it later inspired its own spin-off before the release of The Conjuring 2, The Enfield Poltergeist. But Annabelle is not just any doll. For the Warrens, she was the most dangerous object they had ever come into contact with, even more threatening than cursed artifacts used in satanic rituals, witchcraft, black magic, or religious icons charged with demonic energy. According to the curator of the Warrens Occult Museum, Annabelle has proven she can kill, and at least one death has been directly linked to her. The origins of Annabelle. Annabelle's story begins in Connecticut, 1970. A young nursing student named Donna received a gift from her mother. Some say it was for her birthday, others for Christmas, and some claim it was a graduation present. Whatever the reason, her mother wanted something special, and she found it in an antique shop, a Raggedy Ann doll. This type of cloth doll had been created decades earlier by Johnny Gruelle for his daughter Marcella, who tragically passed away not long after. Despite that sad origin, Raggedy Ann became one of the most beloved toys in America. Donna was thrilled with her new gift and placed it on her bed. At first, nothing seemed unusual, but soon, strange things began to happen. When Donna came home after class, the doll was often in a different position. At first, she thought she might be misremembering how she had left it, but the movements grew stranger. Sometimes she would step out of her room for just a moment, only to return and find the doll's arms or legs rearranged. It wasn't long before both Donna and her roommate Angie realized something was very wrong. They began to find the doll in different rooms entirely, sitting on a chair, lying in the dining room, or even in the hallway, as if it had been caught wandering when they opened the door. They decided to test it. One day, they left the doll in Donna's bedroom. When they returned, it was in the living room, arms crossed, almost as if annoyed. The next day, they left it in the living room and found it back in Donna's bedroom with the door closed. By then, the girls were unnerved. Messages from the doll. Their fear grew when small notes began appearing in the apartment. Scrawled in pencil on parchment paper, they read things like, "Help us," or "Help Lou." The handwriting looked childlike, and yet, neither girl owned parchment or had any pencils lying around. It made no sense. Donna's friend Lou, upon seeing the doll for the first time, told them bluntly, "There's something evil about it." Still, the girls weren't convinced. One Christmas, they even found a small chocolate boot on the table, a gift neither of them had bought. They assumed Annabelle had somehow left it there. But the activity grew darker. A porcelain figure suddenly lifted into the air and dropped to the floor. And then came the moment that broke their patience. Blood on Annabelle. One evening, after a long day, the girls returned home to find the doll in Angie's bedroom. Something felt different this time. When Angie switched on the light, she froze. The doll had blood on its chest and hands. That was the breaking point. They contacted a medium. The medium went into a trance and claimed to reach the spirit of a little girl, 6 or 7 years old, who said her name was Annabelle Higgins. She explained that she used to play in the fields where the apartment building now stood. She wanted nothing more than love and acceptance, and asked permission to remain with the young women through the doll. Moved by the tragic story, Donna and Angie agreed. They welcomed the spirit and began calling the doll Annabelle. They would soon regret it. The true nature of Annabelle. Not long after, Lou became more certain than ever that the doll was not a little girl, but something evil. He pleaded with Donna to get rid of it. But Donna refused, saying it would feel like abandoning a child. Annabelle seemed to take offense at Lou's resistance. One night, Lou awoke to a suffocating presence. He couldn't move. He looked down and saw Annabelle at his feet, slowly climbing up his body. The doll pressed on his chest, trying to strangle him. When he finally woke fully, the encounter left him shaken and terrified. Another time, Lou heard noises in Donna's room. Entering, he saw no one, only Annabelle in the corner. Suddenly, he felt searing pain in his chest. Looking down, he saw claw-like scratches across his skin. Within hours, the wounds vanished without a trace. Enter the Warrens. Convinced that something demonic was at work, the girls contacted a priest, who in turn reached out to Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Warrens immediately concluded that the spirit was not a child but an inhuman presence, a demonic entity that had tricked the girls into letting it stay. By attaching itself to the doll, it hoped to possess a human host. The Warrens performed an exorcism in the apartment and removed the doll. Annabelle was placed in their care, sealed inside a special case at the Occult Museum, where she remains to this day, with a clear warning: do not open under any circumstances. And so, Annabelle became one of the most infamous cursed objects in modern history. A simple rag doll, but one that carries with it a terrifying legacy of deception, fear, and death.